Hi there. Have you ever been told to just relax when your body feels like it's on fire? Or you've been told to get motivated when you're stuck in a total freeze? That advice never works, I should say, never works because it's based on an outdated two-state model of stress. So we all think we had fight or flight, rest and digest. But the truth is, your nervous system doesn't just have two gears, it has a whole ladder of states. And when you understand this ladder, you stop fighting yourself and start working with your biology. That's the power of polyvagal theory. And today I'm going to break it down for you. So, welcome back to the next edition of Reflections of the Sacred Self. Today, we're shifting up a little bit and going a bit more educational because I've had some questions about polyvagal theory and the different states. So, I thought I'd share something for you. And if you stick with me, there'll be some really great practices that you can try for yourself as well. So, what if our body, we had a whole hierarchy of responses? It's like a ladder. We're not just two rungs, but there's six. And they're all like, you have to go up through them to get up to the best. And what if you have to learn the language of this system? And that's the key to finally moving through it. Stop you feeling stuck or overwhelmed or constantly on edge. So you don't get stuck in state. You know how to move easily through the states to get yourself back up to the proper ventral vagal state, which is the social and connected, and where you most want to spend most of your time. Although you won't want to spend all of your time there, and I'll explain to you why as we go through it. So I'm going to demystify the science for you as well today. We're not just talking theory. I'm showing practical real life examples and tools that you can use, that I use as well to shift through these states and find my way back to the state that I want to be in. And I'm going to say the state that I want to be in. And it's not about fixing a flaw. It's not about saying you're wrong or there's something wrong with you, because we'll all shift through these states at different times of the day, and it's about understanding it and being able to have more control over how we shift. And it's about understanding our nervous system so that we can protect ourselves and do all of that. So stick around because it might just change how you experience everything. Okay, so for decades, the story of stress was simple. You're either resting or you're in fight or flight. But that story was missing like loads of different chapters quite clearly. You don't just need to be a human being to know that. It doesn't explain those times where you feel completely immobilized and emotionally checked out, but you're not relaxing, but you're not in fight or flight. So it's not panic, it's something else completely different. But also it doesn't explain those times when, let's say you want to enter a race and you don't want to be in rest and digest if you want to be in a race, but you also don't want to be in fight or flight. But so you're in a state, but you're not in either fight or flight or rest and digest, because neither of those are going to benefit you at that particular time. So this old model, it kind of fails to distinguish between a panicked energy of threat and a joyful energy of playing with your kids, for example, or between a depressed shutdown and a peaceful rest. There's no difference in the rest and digest or fight and flight. So this is exactly why so much common stress advice feels useless. Someone tells you just relax when your body is screaming danger and refuses to listen. Or you're told to get motivated when you feel numb and heavy, which is about as helpful as trying to start a car with a dead battery. So the issue is we've been using an incomplete map to navigate our own bodies. We've been missing the user manual for our nervous system. This is where polyvagal theory, a framework developed by Dr. Stephen Porges, comes in. It hands us a more complete six-state map. And a lot of this is how I'm interpreting it as well. It introduces us to like a full hierarchy, and in doing so, unlocks the secret to true regulation and self-compassion. So, simple science bit about the six states. So, I'm going to ditch any complex biology here, okay, because we don't want to go too much into that. But you want to picture your nervous system as a ladder with six rungs. And at any given moment, you're on one of these rungs. And you're constantly moving up and down based on subconscious cues of safety or danger. And your body does this automatically through a process Dr. Porges calls neuroception. Okay. It's your nervous system's internal radar, essentially, which is constantly scanning your environment not consciously, you kind of you don't even know it's happening, but it's constantly scanning a person's tone of voice, noises, peaceful room, and the nervous system is basically making a decision about whether we're safe. And that's long before you've had any conscious thought about it at all. And so that answer that your nervous system gives determines the rung of the ladder that you're on. So I'm going to take you through the rungs, starting at the bottom. Right. So the bottom rung is dorsal vagal or complete collapse state. So this is the bottom of the ladder. This is our most ancient survival response. It's essentially playing dead. And this is when a threat feels like there's no way out. So I can't fight my way out of this. I can't flee out of this. So I'm just going to play dead. Right? Animals do. There's great footage if you search online of goats when they hear a loud noise and their legs just go rigid and they fall over like they're dead. And then like you leave them for a minute and they get up and they carry on running. That is actually essentially the collapse state because they're just completely playing dead. And this is when we're basically, for us, it's when we feel completely numb, disconnected, hopeless, utterly drained. I can't even state where it feels like you're watching life from a distance. There's nothing happening. And then the freeze state. So this is like the collapse is even further down from the freeze. Okay, we put it that way. And the freeze is one rung up, and you're still immobilized here, but it's tense and you're a bit more on high alert. So you're aware of what's going on, but you can't take any action. You're like, don't know. Think of deer in headlights. So it's a hybrid state, mixing the shutdown of rung one with panicked energy of fight or flight. And your body is tense and ready for action, but you feel stuck, unable to move or think clearly. So it's like really stuck. And then rung three is fearful mobilization, or this is your sympathetic state. This is what we would normally call fight or flight. And this is your radar detects a threat and your body floods with adrenaline. Your heart races, you feel anxiety, anger, or panic, and you're mobilized to either fight the danger or run from it. This state is brilliant for survival, but we can get stuck in it because of all the little stresses that happen in life, and that can leave us living in chronic anxiety. So when we go up a stage from that, we get into fearful immobilization. So this is when we cross into the realm of safety, but we're still immobilized. But it's not, this is not negative immobilization. So this is a state of safe stillness. So this is actually the true rest and digest state where your body can handle digestion, boost your immune system because it feels secure. You feel peaceful, mindful and present. It's the feeling of relaxing into a hug or resting in a quiet space. So this is what people normally think of as the rest or digest. And then we go to fearless mobilization. So this is a bit of the ventral vagal state mixed with the sympathetic nervous system. So this is where safe energy comes to life. So it's what happens when you need that positive sort of energy. So maybe when you're exercising, or if you think about Olympic runners before they go for a race, they might not be feeling anxiety or stress or be in that fight or flight response. But what they do have is a little bit of adrenaline pumping. They're excited. So this would be considered an excitement when you're really excited about something. So it's a joyful, lively energy of play and dance and excited conversation and creative flow. You're active, but feel safe and connected. And then finally, rung 6. This is like the top rung. Now, these three that I've just said, so rungs 4, 5, and 6, they all have positive benefits. So we want to be ideally flipping between those most of the time, because then we're going to be in our best possible states. And then the bottom ones, if we do get into them, figuring out how we move up as quickly as possible. But rung 6 is the social and connected, or the ventral vagal state. So this is the top of your ladder, where deep, fulfilling connection happens. And when your neuroception signals that you are truly safe with others, your social engagement system comes online. So here you feel grounded, open, and ready to connect. So this is essential for co-regulation, when two nervous systems find sanctuary in each other. So this is the time when you're going to feel most connected to other people, and it's usually with people you feel really safe in their company, and so you feel really connected. You can be vulnerable and be yourself because you're truly connected, and there's no anxiety underlying it. But this is the key, but you have to move up this ladder rung by rung. It's very hard to just leap from collapse all the way up to connected because there's a big shift between that one and that one. So understanding this gives you self-compassion to honor the journey back up. So now what I want to talk with you is practical solutions on how to climb the ladder. So you've got a map, you've got a ladder, you've got something you can visualize in front of you. So how do we actually use it? So we can consciously send our nervous system signals of safety and tell it, hey, the coast is clear, you can stand down. And we can become active participants in our own biology. And I'm going to teach you 5 powerful exercises to help you climb your way back towards safety and connection. So exercise 1 is the vagal sigh, your pocket reset button. So this is the simplest way I know to activate calming ventral vagal system. So your breathing, especially long exhales, has a powerful influence on your vagus nerve. So we do it together. Sit comfortably. Take a slow breath in through your nose, letting your belly expand. Now let it go with an audible sigh out of your mouth. Making the exhale noticeably longer than the inhale. So try it again. We're going to inhale for 4 and then we're going to exhale for 6 or 8. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can do 2 more together. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that long exhale, it sends a direct message to your brain that says, I am safe. And you can do this anywhere. The humming, the sighing sound also helps to, the sound will vibrate through the body and that helps to tone the vagus nerve as well. So exercise 2, we're going to do a little more vagal toning, and this is through the vocal, through your vocal cords and that kind of vibration. So your vagus nerve, it runs through your throat, basically. So it goes from your brain all the way down through your throat, heart, stomach, and down. And it's connected to your vocal cords. So when you use your voice, especially with the low frequency vibrations, it's giving the nerve a gentle massage, essentially. So you don't need any singing talent, because trust me, I don't have any. And you just need to, so do it with me, and I'll show you and then you can do it with me. So we take a deep breath in, and then hum. So you just hum on the exhale. Pick a low pitch that feels good. So it doesn't have to be high pitched, and hold it. And again, what we're doing here is we exhale and we hum for a long time. We're extending the exhale. And feel the vibration in your chest and your throat. So if you're ready, let's do it together. Inhale and hum. So that vibration is a really, really powerful cue of safety. So it's really excellent for calming a system in fight or flight or nudging it out of freeze. I feel very chilled out now. And that's just a couple of hums. You can actually feel it. You can hear it in the way I'm speaking. It's changed the speed and the tone at which I'm speaking at, just doing the couple of hums. So that's an interesting one for you. So next exercise we're going to do is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique, or coming back to now. So when you are in a fearful state, your mind is usually worrying about the future or replaying the past. And this technique pulls you back to the safety of the present moment. And you can do it with me, and we can do it together. It makes life much easier. So first you would start by looking around the room and naming 5 things you can see. So I can see my microphone, my computer, my pad, my coffee cup, and my light. So those are 5 things that I know I can see. And then 4 things you can feel. So I might have the texture on the front of my t-shirt, the table in front of me, the paper of the pad, my hair. Yeah, those are 4 different textures. They all feel different. And obviously you're going to do 4 that work for you. And then it would be 3 things that you can hear. So I've just had a car go past. I can hear the rain. The rain is dripping. I need to clean my gutters out. And I can hear a little bit of noise coming from next door. So then notice 2 things you can smell. This is one I always really struggle with. Even though my sense of smell is actually really good, I really struggle with smelling things. So hang on, I'm just going to cheat. Oh yeah, I can smell some coffee. And I can smell my lip gloss. And then 1 thing you can taste. So I can taste the coffee in my mouth, the kind of leftover flavour that you get after you've had a cup of coffee. And you do this, and this helps to anchor you to the present, because it's a really powerful signal of safety, but it's like a form of mindfulness, because it stops us from the whirring monkey mind and going all over the place, and it brings us back to now. These are the things that are happening right now. And often when we do that, it has a lasting effect. And if you find that you keep drifting, you just keep bringing yourself back and finding different ways to bring yourself back to the now. So exercise 4 is the self-hug. So this is a really great one for comfort. So positive, safe touch is a primary signal of safety. But you don't need someone else to give it to you. So you can take, say, your right hand and tuck it under your left armpit, and take your left hand and place it on your right shoulder. And basically squeeze, give yourself a secure hug. So just hold yourself with firm, gentle pressure. Now take a few long, sighing breaths. Again. So this tells your body you're held and you're safe. And it's incredibly powerful for calming an overwhelmed system. So next time you feel overwhelmed, give that a try. See what happens. Exercise 5 is microdosing social connection. So this is the co-regulation spark. So we're biologically wired to feel safe with other safe people. And it's called co-regulation. But when you're on the lower rungs, socializing feels impossible. And especially, and this is really hard, so when you're suffering from low-level anxiety and it's in the background, so you're kind of on level 3, but it's really low level, so you don't necessarily notice it. You think you're okay, but the thought of socializing is really, I'll stay away from people. And so that anxiety level is something to be working on to try and take yourself up so that you can get more confident, and co-regulation can help with this a lot. So the key is to start ridiculously small. So when you're feeling that, let's start with small activities to get you to co-regulate. And it can be making brief, gentle eye contact with the person who makes your coffee. It can be texting a trusted friend to say, thinking of you. It could be looking at a photo of a loved one or a pet and just letting yourself feel that warmth for a second. So these little sparks of connection remind your nervous system that you're not alone, and it helps you to climb up towards the top of the ladder. So looking for those when you're feeling disconnected or you're feeling anxious, you don't really want to spend time around people, looking for those little things that can reconnect you with people. So learning to work with your nervous system is practice. It's about self-compassion and not shame. So the goal isn't to live on the top rungs 24/7. That's impossible. And you don't want to either, because there are times when you want, you want to be on the top rung, but you do really want to try as much as you can to be on those top 3 rungs. But you are going to, right? You are going to dip, because something is going to trigger you. You're going to have something stored in your body or in your subconscious that you're not even aware of, and something will happen and it will trigger you. Or you will be put under stress, right? Or, my son has a tendency of trying to make me jump. So sometimes someone will make you jump and fight or flight will be triggered just naturally. And so that's like, it's just understanding that will happen. So life will always move us down the ladder. But the true resilience is knowing how to move through the stress with awareness. So knowing you can get back up. It's knowing that when you land on that lower rung, whether that's collapse, freeze, or panic, you have the tools to start climbing back up that ladder. You're not broken. Your nervous system is not the enemy. It's an amazing system that has worked tirelessly to keep you alive. And now you have a better map to work with as an ally. So just think of it like that. And remember that your nervous system deserves compassion and not shame. You deserve compassion. We all do. So here's something to think about. What's one small thing that you can do today to help to nourish your nervous system? Which technique are you going to try? And your story might be the signal of safety that someone else needs to see today. So remember, if you've enjoyed this video and you've got benefit from it, to like and subscribe so other people get to benefit from it too. And if you want to get more support on your journey, I'd love for you to come and join my free group, The Sacred Pause. It's a community where we explore somatic practices combined with a bit of spirituality and other ways to move through overwhelm gently. So I'll put the link in the description, and I'd love to see you on the inside. Be patient, be curious, and start climbing. See you soon.